Welcome to Newspresso. Here is the top story in the past 6 hours. The night air over Nashville feels heavy when you think about the clock ticking for a man on death row. Harold Wayne Nichols has been locked in Tennessee's cell block for over 30 years. He turned down the usual choice between the electric chair and lethal injection for his upcoming execution. That's why the state will use lethal injection by default, according to a spokesperson from the Department of Correction. He has just 2 weeks left to reconsider. If he stays silent, the execution will proceed with the single drug protocol. After a long and controversial history, Nichols' story began back in 1990. He was convicted of raping 21-10-year-old Karen Pulley. He was also convicted of murdering Karen Pulley. The case was a flashpoint in the community. The court handed down a death sentence. It would linger in the shadows of the prison walls. For decades, the sentence remained. In the early days of the death penalty, in Tennessee, inmates convicted before 1999 could pick their method of execution. Nichols chose the electric chair. It was a choice that would have shocked. Most states found it shocking, but it was legal here because of the cut-off rule. He was scheduled to die in 2020. The pandemic forced a reprieve. The state pushed the execution back until now. The chair has been used 5 times in 10 years. All of those instances occurred in Tennessee. Electrocution has fallen out of favor in states, replaced by lethal injection, modern method. Nichols opted for electrocution. The lethal injection protocol was complicated. Lawyers who represented inmates raised concerns about reliability and humanness. An independent review discovered that prepared drugs had been made for inmates in the correction department, a practice that raised serious safety concerns. The drugs were produced specifically for 7 inmates, a quantity that remained unchanged, undistributed, and never tested for safety since 2018. None of these drugs had been tested for safety or efficacy since they were produced in 2018, and they were never subjected to quality control. The correction department rolled out a protocol in response to the independent review's findings, aiming to improve inmate safety and compliance. The protocol was officially introduced in December, marking a significant shift in the department's drug management practices to address safety concerns. The new protocol relies on a single drug, pentobarbital, selected for its effectiveness and low potential for abuse in correctional settings. The switch was intended to streamline the drug approval process and reduce the potential for operational errors across the department. In addition, the protocol was designed to reduce the potential for error during drug handling and administration within the department. However, attorneys representing inmates filed lawsuits alleging violations of safety regulations within the department and demanding accountability to protect inmate rights. The lawsuits specifically challenged the protocol's safety and legality, citing insufficient testing and oversight and potential harm to inmates and the department's responsibilities. Several death row inmates were directly involved in the lawsuits and expressed concerns about the protocol that could compromise their safety. A trial in that case isn't scheduled until April. Legal questions remain unresolved for now. Nichols' confession tells a picture of a mind. He admitted to other rapes and to planning attacks, but he also expressed remorse during his trial. He told the court that he continued his behavior. If not caught, he would have acted again. That admission creates tension. Controversies about state execution add tension. Tense atmosphere lingers near execution date. If Nichols refuses, Tennessee will lethal inject. This decision highlights the death penalty debate. The methods used and legal safeguards govern them. The story remains open. The next chapter may begin next month. The trial of the protocol's legality will begin. Subscribe Newspresso. Never miss a major global headline.